A salesperson should never have to try to convince somebody who's not interested or has a low interest to buy something to actually buy something. Good morning. Today, Ruby and I are talking about salespeople trying to move low intent buyers into becoming high intent buyers. That's really hard. I'll say it's impossible. So a lot of what you hear from quote unquote sales gurus is about how you push and how you pitch and how you follow up and follow up and follow up. Well, if that person has zero interest in what you're doing, then that is a complete and utter waste of your time. And so the good sales reps can kind of disseminate who meets that criteria and who doesn't. But that's really hard. And so I've been a sales rep and I've had to do that, and it's really hard. So understanding what that means from a organizational perspective is very interesting in the sense of, can we improve the intent of our buyer or identify the intent of our buyer earlier in the process to help those that are low intent buyers to get whatever they need and to carry on. I need information. I need to understand something. I have a question. Amazing. It doesn't mean they're going to buy anything. So it's when you can get to those folks for whom the research is not early stage, it's not tangential, it's important, it's value add, they've identified an active pain that they're suffering that you can solve. So this becomes a very different way of looking at how your buyer will approach the sale, which means your salesperson will have a different approach to the sale. And so for anybody who is in the sales chair, you've all been there. You're talking to somebody and 30 seconds in, you know this is nothing. There's nothing here. This is not going to happen. And yet you carry on for 10 minutes, an hour, 2 days, trying to guide or placate somebody or help somebody who is just they're not there. So sales should not be trying to convince somebody to do anything if they're not in a position to make that decision, which changes the model. So then it becomes, how do we identify as an organization who the high intent buyers are? And that's a bit more challenging. But the bottom line becomes, generally speaking, when you can see those outbound activities where we're trying to convince turn into a balance of inbound activities, somebody who is now in that space, the world tends to get a little easier. So today, do you understand what a high intent buyer looks like in your business? Have they done their research, their homework? Are they in the final stages of things? Is it you and 2 other companies? Is it why not you? Is it down to price? What is it? Because then you can make a bit of a different discussion with those people than trying to convince them to do absolutely anything. You know what? You really need this. This will help you. I don't want to do that. That's really hard. They need to know that they need the help. So this is why marketing, the job of marketing, if done well, is to point out all of those issues, to double down on the things that will get them where they need to go to become a high intent buyer. Trouble is, not a lot of companies do that well. So there's kind of an obvious connection you're seeing here, how marketing is intended to drive sales and not be a communications plan. So today, think about that. Reps, for those that are trying to convince prospects with a 1% chance of convincing, I feel your pain. It's hard. I get it. Try to look at that buying intent. How can we get more people who are further along that path, who don't need convincing? They need questions answered. They need qualification. They need price. They need whatever, and make that work. So today, figure out the intent of your buyer. Add that into your data. Let your CRM take care of some of that. Hopefully your marketing team can do some of that. And then let's see if we can't get them to cross the finish line. Anyway, Ruby says, figure out high intent, move it from there. Walking and Talking with Ruby.